Hi, this is Karame, and this is my Warlords of Draenor Beta Paladin, PMET, and I am on my level 90 Paladin presently because add-ons are kind of broken, like you can't configure them, so I made a level 100 Paladin, but the UI is completely broken. And it's weird because I can't configure LVUI, but if I disable LVUI, then Grid 2 and SCADA disappear too. So I've been doing some beta testing, raid testing on my Paladin, finally. And I wanted to talk about some of the changes that have been made. The main change that has gone through, as many people probably already know, is that Tower of Radiance is now changed. So watch, see, I did not gain holy power from healing the beacon. Instead, you gain, I think, 40% of the mana cost of the spell. So that removes our primary beacon generator, and this, of course, applies to Flash of Light as well. But Holy Radiance still gives us holy power, as you can see. And Holy Shock does also. And then Eternal Flame and all the others still have a cast time. So what this means is that a lot of the people in the Paladin community have been talking about the sky falling. I don't think anyone can argue that, being able to generate holy power from healing the beacon target was balanced. Though it certainly isn't the highest throughput, considering Holy Radiance is stronger, but it costs mana, whereas Holy Light is extremely cheap. But yeah, I did some testing on this, and this was after the change. And here's my meters from overall for this test. This was... which boss was it? God, I can't remember. It was Kromog. That was his name. He's the boss with the hands. That's right. So my healing on this boss was decent. Here's my healing breakdown if you're curious. This wasn't a great fight for Holy Radiance because we were very light on melee, and then, the range was just basically spread across the entire map. So these are my healing breakdowns. As you can see, Illuminated Healing still doing a lot of healing, but because of the fact there's not really overhealing right now, because it's so hard to heal people back up, your other heals actually get a chance to do things like Eternal Flame, Beacon, because I'm using the double Beacon talent, Beacon of Faith, which I'm not expecting to do presently because I'm level 90, but in the instance you're level 100, so yeah, so that's my healing breakdown. As you can see, I used Holy Light very little. But yeah, that's just because right now healing feels like the same as it does on live now, except that Eternal Flame has a cooldown. But yeah, I mean, this was Resto Shaman. Resto Shaman are doing a lot better now. Resto Druid, Holy Pally, Holy Priest, another Resto Shaman, and then we had a Resto Druid, but she went boomkin halfway through, so that's why her throughput is like half of everyone else's. And the other thing is they removed Glyph of Illumination, so that doesn't exist anymore, but Glyph of Divinity does. Yeah, I was surprised that Illumination wasn't in anymore, but that makes sense, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of weird that they removed Illumination but kept Divinity, but yeah, so these are the glyphs I am using. I dropped Beacon of Light on this fight because the tanks were like not swapping at all, so I just would move Beacon rarely. But yeah. Because of the double beacon, you know. And that's, that's pretty much it. I guess I removed what is it? Hand of Salvation. Yeah, Salve isn't in anymore. I thought we had it. But I guess they took it away again. I'm not sure. But yeah, right now my impressions are Paladins are still strong and valuable. We don't really have a ton of incentive to single target heal because all we gain from it is like a mana savings, but we're still spending mana to cast that spell. So it's not really like, oh, this spell's free or whatever. It's like you're still spending 60% of the mana cost, even if it's cheap. It's good filler, I guess, if you want to be like sort of mana neutral. But yeah, the Holy Light to get Holy Power gameplay is removed. And I, like, admittedly, my college semester just started, so I've been a little out of the loop and I need to get back in the loop. But I have been doing a little reading, and, there's a lot of proposed ways for Blizzard to handle Holy Paladins. This hasn't, destroyed the class, but it also doesn't feel right. I feel like if they made holy power so much harder to get, they should remove the cast times on the holy power spenders, Eternal Flame, Word of Glory, Light of Dawn. And yeah, they they didn't do that. They still have a cast time. So it's kind of crappy right now. You're just stuck like casting stuff all the time. But that wasn't any different from earlier. It's just that now we were kind of even crappier. But it's still like, my impression was it was still strong. And in the first beta test I did, which I do not have meters for, I was usually number 1. And if I wasn't, then the other Holy Pally was number 1. And maybe that's just because it was a good fight for Holy Radiance. Because people were stacked a bit more. I am not sure, but yeah. This guy is not falling. It's a little strange right now, but I'll try to keep everyone up to date on the changes if anything else like drastic happens. And thank you for watching, and have a good day.